Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to the Hunter Swanson Chelsea podcast. Today I'm going to be going over Chelsea 3, Newcastle 2, the win at the Stamford Bridge to secure our second win over Newcastle in the last two meetings. Now, I'm going to be giving you my player ratings right now and breaking down all the players' performances. Let's get into it. Starting off at goal, our main man, Petrovic. He's going to get a 5 for today. I still love Petrovic, but he didn't really do anything crazy today. Both goals I wouldn't consider his fault. Even Mike Murphy's second one, my goodness. I mean, that would have broke his hand if he stopped it probably. So fair play to him for stopping that. But realistically, I think his distribution could have been a little bit better. I think that sometimes maybe it's the position that defenders put him in, but he sends it long a lot and he can lose it a lot of the time. So like maybe just a little bit more being able to keep the possession a little bit better when passing. That's the only thing, but overall still happy with him, but he didn't really do anything crazy. Got 2 goals scored on him, so a 5. Moving into the back line, there's a lot of average over here as well. I'm going to give Marc Cucurella 5, as well as Axel Disasi and Trevor Chalobah, all getting 5s, and Malo Gusto, our man, gets a 6. Now, going in at Marc Cucurella, a 5, I think, honestly, is very impressive. I wanted him to start. I said he would start. I don't know why 0 predictions and all the foot mob and all the commentators said he wasn't starting. He was on the bench. He was healthy. He was our only option. But anyways, he started. He looked a little rusty with his passing, and then obviously at the end when he let Murphy in for that goal. So I'd give him a 5 because he was kind of partially the main person at fault for the second goal. But other than that, he looked really well. Going into the center backs, they let in 2 goals. They didn't make any crucial mistakes. It was their first time playing together ever. So I'm going to take it easy on them. We won the game. I'll just give them 5s across the board, but nothing more than average from both of them. Going into that right back, Malo Gusto. Now, I love Malo Gusto. And I was trying to think of a way, like, I was just thinking about him. Let me explain it this way. You know how every team that you have, that you watch every single one of their games, you're a huge fan, there's always that 1 or 2 players where you're like, wow, they are so underrated. If like another team, like an Arsenal fan or a City fan was to watch every single one of Chelsea's games this year, they'd be saying, damn, Gusto's him. And it's true. Gusto is so good. And one thing I wanted to point out this video is we all know he's phenomenal at crosses. We all know he owns that right side. We all know he can dribble the ball. We all know he can find diagonal runs inward to crash the box even as a fullback. But his one-on-one is something that should not be forgotten. Malo Gusto is not just a good attacking right back, but he is a complete right back with a great defensive set. Couldn't be happier. I'm going to give him a 6 because I think he had a good game. Not a phenomenal game, but a good game. Moving into the midfield, my player ratings for the midfield are going to be 7s across the board. Enzo's going to get a 7. Casado's going to get a 7. And Conor Gallagher is going to get a 7. Now, Enzo, I think, had a great game. I think he's been becoming more consistent in his performances, and I'm very happy about that. I think that he's just so much. I'll put it this way. The tempo of our team relies so much on him. He's the only player that will like slow it down. He'll control. He'll find those switches. He'll open it up. And I think he's so vital to our team. And when he plays well, we win. He played well today. We won. Conor Gallagher, honestly, I'm very impressed. He had an assist. He did play well. He honestly didn't look like he had a virus the week before, but it's Conor Gallagher. He's a machine. We all know that. So I was proud of him for coming off with the virus. I think Chelsea putting on their injury report made it look a lot worse than it probably was, but I'm happy to see him healthy and moving. Casado does so much that is unrecognized, and he does so good every game. I really think he's an underrated player. Just because he has the 100 million price tag, people are saying he's not living up to that standard, which honestly may be true because how hard is it to live up to 100 million? But he is still a very, very good player today. And I think if you took him out of the Chelsea lineup, you'd be surprised with how bad it gets. The one thing about Caicedo I want to see is his timing. I think his timing on passes as well as mostly tackles, if he can get his timing down, I think that's the next step to becoming that $100 million player. Next up, I'm going to go into our attacking three. Now, Sterling gets a 4, Jackson gets an 8, and Cole Palmer gets a 9. I think that Sterling, here's what I'll say about Sterling, okay? Sterling gets a lot of hate. He gets a lot of hate from Chelsea fans. And there's a good reason for it. And I hate to criticize him all the time because I made this channel just to enjoy Chelsea, to enjoy talking about that stuff. I didn't really make it to bash players. I don't find any enjoyment in that. But my goodness, he's on over $300K a week, so everyone has super high demands. He's also one of the only veteran players in this team. He's also very inconsistent, but I think my issue is just his lack of effort, man. He does not look like he wants to be at Chelsea. And I don't care if he could blame the fans not wanting him there. Excuse me. Got a cough there. But he is not trying nearly hard enough. He's jogging. He's taking too long on the ball. I don't know what's going on with Sterling. Unfortunately, I don't want him here next year. I think if we're going to have veteran players, they need to be more of a leader. They need to be more consistent and show the young players what they can do. So that's why I'm going to give him a 4. Now, let's get a little bit more positive. Jackson gets an 8. My goodness, I said in the last episode that Jackson is either an awful player who doesn't look like he knows how to play soccer, or he gives you glimpses of Drogba. And that was the case today. Number 1, he was playing great. I was super happy with Jackson today. Number 2, that finish is underrated. And the reason I'm so happy about Jackson's finish is this. I think everyone that watches a lot of Jackson could tell you this. He's a striker that looks like he wants to be a winger. His finishing, he dribbles too much, right? It's like a winger. Strikers want to shoot the ball. They're good at finishing. They got that flair, right? What he did today with Palmer directing it at a goal and him redirecting it with that pass into the bottom corner was a striker instinct. That was a move you see strikers do. And with that, I am so happy because that's him showing improvement in the striker area. Not in the player area, but in that striker profile area. And so I'm really happy with Jackson. I'm going to give him an 8. Going up to right wing, Cole Palmer, the man of the match, is the man. Now, $40 million for an English player that has over 20 goal involvements in the Premier League is insane. When you're bound to spend $1 million or $1 billion on unproven players, you're bound to strike a couple gems. Malo Gusto's a gem, and Cole Palmer is a gem. Couldn't be more happy for him. I think that there's still another level to his game. And the dude, what is he, 2021? Crazy. Couldn't be more happy for Cole Palmer. I said he was going to score in this game. I also said Jackson was going to score in this game. I also said that Mudryk was going to score in this game. I also did say Madueke would be involved, but apparently he doesn't get a start even on his birthday over Sterling, who is not playing well. But anyways, happy with him. Now, going into my subs, there was 3 subs that came on, the main man being Mudryk. Now, let me say this about Mudryk. If Poch does not start Mudryk in the next game, I'm Poch out. I don't care about what I said previously. I said that he needs to get Europe football to be here next season. I don't give a crap about that. If he does not start Mudryk, he should be out. He should be sacked. And here's why. We all know the stat that's going around that he hasn't started any game in which he scored. And while I'm a Mudryk fanboy, and I admit it, and I think he is potential and he should be starting, he had moments, even in the Leeds game, where, you could see his pressing, his defense, his off-ball movement still needs work, right? Today, he did phenomenal in all areas. Defensively, he helped out a ton. Pressing-wise, he was great. Positionally, he was great. He did everything right today. If a player like him does everything right today, wins you the game, and you don't start him, that is borderline criminal. Mudryk needs to start the next game. I am so happy for him. He is going to become that star boy. Just watch. Next up, Carney. Happy to have Carney back. He came on for like 5 minutes. He gets a 5. Oh, Mudryk, I'll give as a sub, you get an 8. Like, he couldn't have done much better. And then Cassidy. Real quickly, I want to say, Cassidy is going to be a great player for us. I know he only played a couple minutes today, but he has the intangibles. You can keep on going on about everyone's past, but what was it, that U20 World Cup or whatever it was? He was good. Top scorer as a midfielder. He's going to be something special. In my opinion, I think he's going to be our 5th best midfielder behind Lavia. He's above Ogachuku in my mind. He's above all the other ones. I think he's going to be very good. But I'll give him a 6 as well. I'll give him a 6 for that. But those are my player ratings. I want to know yours down below. If you would have changed any, if you would have switched. And afterwards, if you could click that like button and then scroll up and hit subscribe, that would mean a ton for me so I can continue making this Chelsea content that I love. Until the next one, I'll see you soon. Come on, Chelsea.